everyone and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be talking about gym etiquette. There's no point in going around it, is it? It's in the title. We're going to talk about gym etiquette, and the reason for that is because it's one of those subjects that I hear a lot of beginners talking about, where they feel uncomfortable when they go to the gym or want to go to the gym. You know, they might not have actually been yet, and people are like, I don't know what the rules are, I don't know what I'm allowed to do, I don't want to look stupid. They're like, I don't want people to think, what on earth are they doing? So thought we'd talk about it. It's also because I'm sick of people being awful in the gym. There's a lot of newbies who come in, and some people genuinely just don't know, and that's okay. Like, that's fine. But there's some people who just don't care. So I'm just going to put it out there on the internet and let's talk about some unspoken rules that people have in the gym, because everyone has them. People who have been going to the gym for years, we know that there are unspoken rules in the gym that aren't anywhere. Some of them are on rule sheets, but people choose to ignore them, but some of them just aren't anywhere, and you just expect everyone to know. And how are people gonna know if you don't tell them, or they find out the hard way and someone gets annoyed at them and starts shouting at them? So let's just talk through some gym rules that there are 100% there, but some people don't know about. Just want to preface this with, obviously this is a little bit kind of my opinion, but I would say that this is coming from me being a personal trainer for five years, 6 years now. 6 years? Oh God, 6 years now. And this is just my experience of rules that I seem to have found in every single gym that I've been in, and that you can tell some people respect. I've probably left some out. I'm not saying this is an expansive rule here, like an expansive list, but I've actually come up with 10, which is a very lovely round number. I wrote them all down, didn't number them, and then I numbered them, and there's actually 10. So I feel like that's a really good round number. So I've been rambling for 2 minutes. We're gonna go straight into the gym rules. First one, we're gonna kick off with a controversial one. We're gonna kick off with one that some people are gonna be like, really? But this is one that is on the walls, but people don't listen. And it's to not take your gym bags onto the gym floor. I know it's convenient. I know that it's nice having your bag with the things that you need in the bag right next to you, so you don't have to keep going back to the locker. But no, it is annoying. It's very annoying, especially if you're in a small gym with limited floor space. It's annoying because it gets in the way, and even if you think it's not getting in the way, it's probably got in the way of someone at some point. Even if it's up against a wall, you think it's not doing anyone any harm, it's probably in the way. Not only is it a fire hazard, because if there's a fire alarm, someone's going to trip over it. Like, someone's going to trip over it. We've already got loads of equipment everywhere that people are going to trip over. Let's not add another obstacle in there that is a gym bag. And it's really annoying. You can walk back to the lockers. Just go back to the lockers. I do it, loads of other people do it, just do it. You can stop taking your gym bags out on the floor. Next one, by the way, these aren't in any particular order. I just wrote them down as I thought of them, so some might link and they might be a little bit all over the place, but we're just gonna move on. Number 2 is, don't walk in front of somebody who is doing a set in the mirror. And you kind of have to have a little bit of spatial awareness for this, because I don't just mean people who are like this close to the mirror and they're like, oh, what am I doing? It's people who are all over the weights floor. Like, if you can see somebody looking at something when they are doing a set, it likely is going to be a mirror. It's so frustrating when somebody walks in front. Like, I know, I can deal with people just walking in front. It does annoy me, but I can deal with people just walking in front. But please don't loiter. Just don't linger in front of people when they're going in, like, and doing that thing in a mirror. People like to see what they're doing in the gym. Like, it's a set thing, it's a safety thing for your form. It's just, people like to see in the mirror. I mean, does vanity come into it? Probably. Does vanity come into it for all of us? Probably. Just try not to walk in front of people in the mirror. If you have to, you know, just like, sorry, or something like that. Just like make it clear that you just aren't, because that's the thing that annoys me probably the most, is when people just act like they're allowed to do that. Like, even if you're just like, oh sorry, and when you walk in front, just show that you understand that you've like got in the way a little bit and you're just like, oh, I didn't, like, I had no other choice. that kind of a thing. Just try to avoid it if you can. Number 3, always ask if it's okay to take a plate off a machine in use. So this goes for anywhere. There's loads of different places that plates can be stored. So this, I mean like a squat rack, I mean like a plate loaded chest press, a plate loaded shoulder press, anything that has a plate that can be stored on there. Obviously not just the plate storage trays, but equipment that is in use. Always ask if it's okay to take it, and don't ask mid-set. I don't think I wrote this down, but never talk to somebody mid-set, no matter what. Like, no matter what. Just wait until the end of the set and then ask, because I just think this is one of those ones where I do think it's an unwritten rule, and a lot of people know it. And the people who don't know it, because this is kind of a weird one, like sometimes you're just like, oh, well, they're obviously not using it, I'll take it. The people who know it get very, very annoyed at the people who take them without asking, even if they're not going to use it. There is a chance that they might need to use that plate at some point throughout their set. So if it's in use, just wait until they're finished on their set. Ask if it's okay if they use it. If they say no, it means they need it. If they say yes, it means you've got it. It doesn't take 2 seconds, but I do think that's an important one, because the last thing you want is for somebody to steal a plate that you need. This one kind of seems like the same as the mirror thing, but it's a little bit different. So number 4 is if somebody is on the first row of benches, and by that I mean when, you know, on the typical gym setup there is the mirrors and then dumbbells and then the benches. If somebody is in the first row, so the ones that are very, 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 very close to the dumbbells, if they are doing a set, don't take the dumbbells that are in front of them whilst they're doing their set. Wait. And I know that's probably going to differ gym by gym, because if, like, I don't know if it is though, because that's the thing. It's not the fact that you might knock them, because I know that's probably what people have thought of, like, oh, it's in case you knock them. It might be that there isn't enough room to get it without knocking them, or even a chance of knocking them. But sometimes just somebody being in that kind of a space, like right in front of you, can really knock your concentration. And if you lose your concentration at the wrong time on a heavy lift, like, it's not going to end well. The last thing that you want to do is accidentally put somebody's concentration off and for them to drop a dumbbell on their face. Like, just don't do it. Just wait. Like, I'm one of those people that it would affect me, so I would always just assume that everybody has the same issue, because the worst that can happen is they drop a massive dumbbell or a barbell on their face or on their chest, and it can have, like, all jokes aside, it can literally kill people. So I'd always just say, if there are like dumbbells in front of somebody who's right on the front, like right next to the dumbbells, just wait until they finish the set and then get them. I know a lot of waiting comes into this, but I just think it's the safe way to go. Number 5, don't touch the mirrors. This is annoying, because working in a gym and also being a gym patron, like a gym member, it is not just me that gets so annoyed about fingerprints on the mirror. Like, it's not nice for the cleaning staff, it's not nice for the staff, it's not nice for members, like, it's not nice for anyone. Please do not touch the mirrors. If you have to touch the wall, please go somewhere else and touch the wall. I think this depends on different people, because I imagine some people are like, well, it's easier to clean a mirror than it is to clean a wall. I still would say don't touch a mirror, because it's so freaking annoying. And I've worked in gyms and I've worked with gym cleaners and they hate it. So yeah, I'd say don't touch mirrors. If you do touch a mirror, because I've rested against a mirror, you need to clean it up after. Like, you need not just a wipe, you need to clean it. You need to wipe your sweat off it. You need to spray it down with some antibacterial stuff, and you need to wipe it so it's not streaky, because if you wipe it and it's just streaky, it's the same freaking thing. So just don't touch the mirrors. This kind of leads on, number 7, wipe down your equipment. Like, wipe it down. I never actually used to wipe down my equipment, because I was always in the thing of, I don't sweat that much, so I'll not wipe it down. COVID has since happened. Wipe down your equipment, people. Like, there is there's 2 kind of sides of it. There's the COVID kind of side of it, where you've been sweating, no matter how much you think you haven't been sweating, there will be some kind of moisture on your skin that's putting down on the benches, the dumbbells. I see people cleaning down benches. I hardly ever see people cleaning down dumbbells. Like literally just get some spray, put it on anyway. There is the whole kind of COVID, any kind of virus. I am a huge sycophobe. So it's not even just COVID for me anymore. It's like, I don't want to catch any kind of bugs that people have. So there's that side, but there's also sweat. Like some people sweat, and that is a-okay. There is nothing wrong with it. I actually kind of admire people who sweat a lot, because I'm like, you must feel like you're working so hard because of how much you're sweating. But then there are a lot of those people that just let it drip everywhere. And I understand the floor and stuff is really hard to clean, like especially in the gym if they have like mats, like it's really hard to clean. Please don't leave please don't leave your drip sweat on the machines. Especially, I see people cleaning down benches, but then they kind of just forget about it when they go to machines. And then I'm one of those people that cleans before and after. Like I said, I'm scared of sick, but the amount of times when I go to clean the machine and I can see where the person's head has been and it's dripped down, just please wipe down your equipment after. Like, it doesn't take 2 seconds. If there isn't, a lot of gyms do have the equipment to clean down things now because of COVID, but if not, I wouldn't say take a towel. I see a lot of people walking around with a towel, but the towel absorbs the sweat, and then you go to the next machine and you wipe it down and you put the sweaty towel all over the thing. So I wouldn't say take a towel, but if your gym doesn't have the equipment, you can get biodegradable wipes. You can get, like, I don't know, I think it's personally a bit rubbish if your gym doesn't provide equipment to wipe down your equipment. But if it doesn't, I understand you're probably not going to wipe it down because you'd have to like bring your own stuff in. But if it does, just wipe down your equipment. Like, it's Megan. I was wrong. That was number 6. Number 7 is be aware of what people are doing and don't go into their space. Kind of similar to the bench one, but I mean this everywhere. Like, if they are standing, be aware of it. And I'm not saying like track down every single person in the gym and be like, right, what are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? It's not what I mean. The people who you're going to like pass, or the people who are in your area, just have a little think about what they're doing and whether you're going to be in their personal space. I've been in between benches before, with the benches being upright, and I've been doing lateral raises, and I've had like, my hand was literally, I want to say, this far away from the bench, and I've had somebody try and squeeze through that space when I've been doing lateral raises, and I've nearly knocked them out with the dumbbell. So that's the kind of thing I mean. Don't try and squeeze in between people. There are so many layers to this. There is safety, there is personal comfort, there is this, like, being that close to somebody could trigger somebody. Like, just don't do it, and try not to get into their personal space, and try and figure out a way where you can, if it is like it kind of has to happen, try and alternate. Like, you'd be surprised how easy. Ooh. You'd be surprised how easy it is to alternate timings with somebody without actually having that explicit conversations. It happens with me all the time, because sometimes in the benches, they're very, very busy, and somebody will be doing like Bulgarian split squats, and obviously if you think about them, you get quite far away from your bench, and then my bench will be like here, and it's the type of thing where when they're working, I don't work. When they go on their rest, I go in, and then they kind of clock what I'm doing, and then they're like, all right, okay, I'll wait, and then you move, and then they do it. Like, there's definitely a way around it. And if you can't get to the place that you need to be, say if somebody's standing in front of a dumbbell, like what I said about the thing before, and you need to get in there, just wait until they're done. It's not worth it. You might get shouted at. I shouted at that lateral raise guy. You might get somebody feeling really uncomfortable, and then they might go home because they feel so uncomfortable. You might ruin someone's day. Like, just wait until they're done, if in doubt. 8, this is, again, I don't know if it's controversial, but it's a bit of a weird one, because I actually am not somebody who I would say this rule counts for. That sounds bad, let me explain. And it's, if somebody is wearing headphones, don't talk to them. What I mean by me not, like, I don't count, I don't mind if people talk to me, but I think this is a very, very good rule of thumb, because I'm very much in the minority. The majority of people, if they are wearing headphones, do not want to be talked to. And I know if you are somebody who is pretty confident or whatever, you might think, oh, but they do want to be talked to. They're in the gym. Don't, like, seriously, don't talk to them if they have their headphones on. I feel like if somebody is willing to be talked to, they kind of make it a little bit obvious. Like, they'll give like a little bit of a head nod. My personal thing is I pull a headphone off an ear. Like, if I'm around somebody who I think might want to talk to me, or if I'm just like, I want to chat with that person, I'll take a headphone off my ear, and then I feel like that's kind of like a good way of signifying that I actually am okay with being talked to. So I would just say, as a rule of thumb, if they have both headphones in, don't talk to them. And if you really do want to talk to them, nah, I wouldn't even, nah, if they've got headphones in, just don't even attempt it. Number 9, sorry if my eyes look really watery, I've just had a drink of energy drink, and like my eyes won't stop brightening. I'm really hot as well, and I'm really red. I don't know what's happening. Anyway, number 9 is, again, what I was saying was, I think it's a bit of a common sense one, but people break it without actually realizing they're breaking it, and it's don't stare at what somebody is doing. And I think the common sense aspect is that it's like, don't stare at people. But then in the gym, I think it's really easy to fall into just being interested in what somebody's doing. Like, I think it falls into people being like, not knowing what they're doing at the gym, and they're watching other people be like, right, what should I do? Or if you see someone doing something really interesting, you're just like, oh, I want to watch that. Or if somebody's lifting really heavy, you're like that still counts as staring, and you don't know who's going to be okay with that and who's not going to be okay with that. Again, you need to think about how other people could take it. And I'm going to bring it up, but as a female, if you see a male staring at you in the gym, you can't help but feel a little bit threatened. It's going to happen. I know some men kind of get like, oh, it's not fair, blah, blah, blah. I imagine you're probably not on my channel if you are one of those people, but you have to think about how our lives go and how females have been brought up and how females are warned about so much. Even if you are just watching because you want to start a conversation, even if you are just watching because you just want to be like, oh, what are they doing? The first thing that you think of as a female when you see someone staring is, they're being really creepy, they're just non-stop staring at me. If you want to know more about what a person is doing and they aren't wearing headphones, ask them, like, just talk to them rather than staring at them. You don't want to ruin somebody's day, and you don't want to make someone feel unsafe just because you're interested. It's not worth it. So just please check yourself into whether you're staring, because I know I sometimes have to check myself with it 100%. If I have somebody, I just clock on to people, like, you know, when your brain just is like, that person there, you're gonna want to watch them the entire workout. My brain does that, but you have to kind of like stop looking at that person. But just, I have to tell myself to stop staring sometimes. So just constantly check in as to whether you are completely staring at someone. Number 10. This right, okay. Some people aren't gonna wanna follow this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. And it's, if you aren't sure, ask. And that goes for everything, like everything. I mean, in terms of, if you aren't sure how to use a machine, go ask a gym, like a staff member. If you aren't sure if somebody's using a machine, ask them. If you aren't sure what a person's doing, ask them. And I know that's hard, and the reason I think people won't do it is because people are scared to talk to people in the gym, and I think there's a lot of good reasons why people don't want to and why that is scary, 100%. But the only thing I will say, and this isn't to try and convince you otherwise, this is just to show you my kind of like evidence, is that a lot of people do just want to like learn in the gym, and a lot of people do just want to help other people in the gym. There isn't always an environment like that. There are some people who are just twats, but that's the world, innit? There's people who are just going to be awful. But I have only a small amount of instances where people are malicious. So I know it's scary to ask people, but normally they do want to just help. And it's the same type of thing with asking for a spot. Like, the majority of people will just be like, yeah, okay. And then they kind of know that they're just there to do what you asked. But if they're awful, just take a step back and just be like, all right, thank you, and close the conversation off. And if it makes you more uncomfortable, tell a member of staff. I can't tell you how much I want to emphasize that the staff are there to help make you feel safe, and if you are uncomfortable, you need to go tell them. And know, again, that that is not as easy as it sounds, but as someone who's been a member of staff, it breaks our heart to know that you're uncomfortable in our gym. And if they aren't receptive to that, or if they handle it terribly, I am sorry. Like I say, there are just terrible people out there, but the majority of people just want to make sure that you feel safe in the gym. So if you do feel uncomfortable, please go make sure you tell a member of staff. Likelihood is they will ban that member, so it will only like get better because they will do it in a good way. I've known a lot of managers and the majority of them were good. So if in doubt, just ask if you feel like you are comfortable enough. Okay, so that is 10 unwritten rules I think there are of the gym. If you have any problems with them, that's fine, let me know. I'd love to learn why I'm wrong, but they're just things that I think a lot of people I've seen over the years also agree with. If I've offended you, I'm sorry, but it's just what I found that I think is good manners in the gym. I've probably left a load out, so if you have one that you think is really important that I haven't mentioned, please leave it below because people need to know. But that is it. I'm going to say goodbye. If you did enjoy the video, please make sure to leave it a like and subscribe if you are new. I would love to have you here. I upload every Wednesday, Friday and Sunday. And yeah, that is going to be it. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye.